My God, I hate drugs.
Communist rebels were killed in an encounter with government forces early this morning in Tinambak in Camarines Sur. This followed an encounter in Matuguinao, Samar Province yesterday morning, where 2 rebels were also killed. Soldiers recovered firearms in the encounter site. Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Bureau officials warned of a possible fish kill in the Taal Lake in Batangas because of sulfur upwelling. BFAR officials explained sulfur upwelling is a natural occurrence where sulfur rises above the water and at the same time lowers the level of dissolved oxygen in the water. This results in a fish kill. Latest monitoring showed high levels of sulfide in some areas of the lake. Fish cage owners have been advised to harvest their stocks and transfer their cages to other areas. President Duterte allaying fears about vaccines while speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony of a hospital in Malabon City yesterday. Mr. Duterte urged parents to get their kids vaccinated, especially with the rising number of measles, hepatitis, and polio cases. Here's the president in his own words.
Do not be loud and be complacent about it kasi ang sanggol talaga kailangan. Yung Dengvaxia lang, kung ayaw ninyo, okay lang. But lahat ng anak ninyo, hindi naman tayo nagkulang sa bakuna, because it is good and it is for the health of the person.
Health officials have been appealing to the public to have their children vaccinated amid reports of refusing immunization following the controversy on the Dengvaxia vaccine. House Speaker Gloria Arroyo says the joint House panels, which conducted a series of hearings over the Dengvaxia mess, will soon release its report. We're closely monitoring developments in the investigation into the deadly bombings in Jolo, Sulu. Police confirming the 4 men tagged as persons of interest voluntarily turned themselves in to clear their names. These men were seen on CCTV footage, who authorities said were acting suspiciously. Let's get more details from our senior correspondent David Santos live from Jolo. David, what do we know about these 4 men? All right, we're going to go back to David Santos live from Jolo in just a bit. In the meantime, let's go over first to other stories. Local officials and Muslim religious leaders in Zamboanga City calling for sobriety and vigilance among residents in the wake of a grenade attack in a mosque early today. Mayor Beng Climaco allays fears of tension between Muslims and Christians. Climaco reiterates her call for the security sector to remain on alert. She checks security installations in the city's border in the east coast. Muslim religious leaders in the Ulama Council of Zamboanga Peninsula also condemned the attack. 2 people were killed and 4 others wounded. Over in Davao City, Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio bans backpacks in all churches. The ban includes other places of worship. The measure will prevent terrorists from using backpacks to hide explosives. Reports say the bomb that exploded inside the Jolo Cathedral was in a bag. Let's go back now to David Santos, who's monitoring investigations into the bombings in Jolo, Sulu. David?
Well, tonight investigators here in Sulu speaking to at least 4 persons of interest captured in the CCTV footage in the aftermath of the powerful explosions at the Jolo Cathedral. Now, these individuals, whose names are still being withheld as of this time, voluntarily reported to the Sulu Provincial Police Office here in Jolo today to clear their names. 2 of the 4 have undergone questioning throughout the day. The PNP describes person 1 as the guy with his hair pulled up and wearing a green jacket, while person 2 is wearing a bull cap, a striped sweatshirt over his white t-shirt, and carrying a sling bag. The 2 appearing before the PNP even brought with them the clothes they were wearing and personal belongings they were bringing at the time of the incident as captured on the CCTV footage in order to establish their identities. Now, person 1 accordingly appears to be a grade 11 student, while person 2 is a grade school teacher. They are both from the municipality of Kalingalang, Kaluwang. They were here in Jolo on Sunday supposedly to do an errand. Now, Provincial Police Director Senior Superintendent Pablo Labra II now clarifying person 1, who was initially tagged as a certain Kama, appears to be a mistake. Kama was being identified as belonging to a so-called Ajang-Ajang group, which may be behind the January 27 Jolo Cathedral bombing that killed 21 people and wounded scores others. Now, Labra says the two individuals virtually now cleared of any offense, but both have expressed willingness to cooperate if summoned again by investigators. Now, we asked Labra if the PNP or the government will have to apologize for this seeming blunder of prematurely identifying and releasing to the public the images of these two individuals as possibly having links to the bombing. Here's what he has to say.
Kung if it was wrong to suspect them to have done wrong, to have committed something bad, but we are investigating, sir. There is an incident we have to solve. We need to do anything that we should do to solve this.
Now, meanwhile, two more persons of interest also seen in the CCTV footage have also voluntarily reported to the PNP headquarters here in Jolo this afternoon, also to clear their names and to deny any links to the explosion. There is no word yet on how their questioning turned out. Pia.
Well, David, I suppose you will continue to monitor all those developments in the investigation into the Jolo blasts. David Santos there, reporting live from Jolo. Tributes pouring in for R&B singer James Ingram, the voice behind hit songs Just Once and I Don't Have the Heart. He has died at the age of 66. Ingram's longtime friend and creative partner, Debbie Allen, confirmed to CNN the news of his passing. No cause of death has been revealed yet. On Twitter, Allen says Ingram will also always be cherished, loved, and remembered for his genius, love of family, and humanity. American record producer Quincy Jones is saddened by Ingram's passing. Jones goes on to say Ingram was and always will be beyond compare. Singer and songwriter Josh Groban describes Ingram as a vocalist all vocalists looked up to. Filipina Broadway star Lea Salonga also paying tribute. Salonga says it was an honor to have shared the stage with the Grammy-winning singer.
Officials, however, say the public should not be alarmed by the possible presence of suicide bombers. They say they are intensifying their operations against the Abu Sayyaf in Sulu. Armed Forces Chief General Benjamin Madrigal meanwhile says they're still looking into the possible link between the blast in Jolo and the grenade attack in Zamboanga City Tuesday night.
Yung mga peace spoilers are trying to put religious undertone dito sa pangyayari. Kaya nga hinihingi natin na tingnan muna natin na magiging resulta ng investigation, no? At hindi kaagad tayo makapagbigay ng conclusive statement tungkol dyan.
Senator Panfilo Lacson believes the blasts indicate a shortcoming on the part of defense and military officials. He says officials should improve intelligence gathering even as they have been aware of the plan to bomb Jolo as early as August 2018.
Anong ginawang action noong dapat mag-implement noong yung product na intelligence?
Authorities are calling on the public to stay calm and remain vigilant against suspicious persons and activities. Rex Remitio, CNN Philippines.
Senators wanting to make sure the country's third telecommunications player will pass legal scrutiny. Under question now whether or not the Mindanao Islamic Telephone Company or Mislatel has a valid franchise. Senate Minority Leader Frank Dulon repeatedly pointing out that the firm's franchise in 1998 is deemed revoked because the company violated its terms. Mislatel insists otherwise. The chairperson of the Senate Public Services Committee, Sandra Grace Poe, is looking into the possibility of, quote, curing the defects and questions on the legality of Mislatel's franchise.
Pinipresenta ko, kung ito papayagan ng Senado dahil sa tingin natin emergency na kailangan natin ng serbisyong ganyan, bigay natin. Makaka-operate sila, pero pag kwenisyon ng korte, biglang matitigil sila.
Ho reminds Mislatel if the court nullifies its franchise, Mislatel will no longer recover the more than 25 billion peso performance bond it paid the government. All right, we're going to go back to the story in just a bit. In the meantime, let's move on. First, our top global story, China saying it has opened what it calls a maritime rescue center in a reef of the disputed Spratly Islands. Chinese state media Xinhua citing the country's transport ministry, which says the rescue center will better protect navigation and transport safety in the South China Sea. Xinhua adds 2 Chinese ships sent to the disputed waters rescued 16 people and 2 ships last year.